The 2007 Amanda Bynes movie Sydney White is a romantic comedy based on the story of Snow White. Interestingly, it was first meant as a follow-up to 2004's A Cinderella Story, and a failed attempt at establishing a series of teen movies based on classic fairy tales. We're talking first edition Grimm's Brothers here, before all the bodily violence and uncomfortable sexual references were cut out. If the frail children of 19th century Germany could handle it, then I'm pretty sure Becky and Michaela from the suburbs of Schenectady will be fine. They're not even dying of cholera. But don't worry, because Sydney White is still determined to give you stomach cramps with its paint-by-number screenplay, bland humor that fails to support its final messaging or its talented star, and a surprisingly generous serving of ethnic stereotypes, especially for a movie that lacks diversity like it lacks unique direction. Viewer beware, because this is not the Snow White that Disney showed us. So if you're expecting animated birds or magical fairy dust of any kind, this is a strictly bring your own absinthe establishment. Time to saddle up and join me for another happily ever afterbirth installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content on the web, and we turn those storybooks page by page to say, oh, that's probably not what I remembered it to be. And that's certainly been the case with every minute of the Amanda Bynes trilogy that I've witnessed and experienced thus far on this channel. We've done She's the Man, we've done Something Else where she had this whole thing. It's a lot. But let's not dwell on the past, let's get right into the hopeful future, which is based once again on source material from the past. Oh, but before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on Amanda Bynes movies like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when we're unlocking a new story. Also, I've got merch available, like this Pride tank top. Look, you can see my arms. And a Patreon where you can access exclusive episodes and virtual watch parties. Now, let's get into it and see if we can meet Sydney. See what makes her a special young girl. The one thing you can always count on Amanda Bynes characters to have is like terminal uniqueness. Oh, so we're following a greeting card to the main character. Between this opening scene and the sorority politics, this movie wants to be Legally Blonde as much as possible without legally being Legally Blonde. Like right now it looks like Legally Blonde, starring the kind of men who would tuck their dress shirt into jeans at weddings. The card finds its way over to Sydney White, who, surprise, as she comes out from under that table, is not a man.
What's this?
It's actually something you could use in college.
You got me a sponsored product integration. This is gonna make me the coolest person in my class on anti-consumerism. If you're wondering who this cool dude is, it's her dad.
I know that you have a scholarship to keep up with, but you gotta promise us all that you're gonna raise a little hell every now and then.
Don't worry, Dad. I'll smile for my mugshot.
What kind of dad wants his daughter to put herself in dangerous situations in college? Like, she'll already be at risk just walking home from the library at night, Slob the Builder. He's like, I hope you do get arrested, then me and all my construction friends can finally cut loose. YMCA. I can't spell YMCA. I was like, YXZY. You can dance in the streets. You can sing all your songs. You can eat all the smoky meats. Because what would a movie be without pointless narration? We have to hear Sydney White's voiceover being like, here's what makes me special and unique.
I was raised by construction workers.
Hey, undo that high five. Catcalling is sexual harassment, whether it's from a male to a woman or pre-sexual child to pre-sexual child. But I gotta say, the second one is a lot less common to see in film. After experiencing the trauma of being objectified, that little boy with the skateboard vowed to change the world. His name was Tony Hawk. What's that I hear? Coming over the mountain range? Coming o'er the mountain range? Why, it's the dead mom cliche. Where's your mom? She's been dead. Chopped dead with an axe.
I was only 9 9 when my mom died.
That's old enough to remember some details, voiceover Sydney. Was it terminal illness? Car accident? Did she just drown in this backyard swamp and you put up a headstone along with your dead dogs? To me, it's like, all right, if we're gonna all have dead moms in movies, at least give me a tragic reason. Give me something poetic, like, oh, she died in a hazing accident or whatever, and then she goes to be in a sorority and it's like, ooh, it's a conflict. Something there is meaty. Give your mom a meaty death. Oh, mom, I hope you die in a meaty way. Not talking to you, mom. I love ya. I love ya. The dad is incompetent because he's a single dad. You know, the old cliche.
These are your, let's just call them your lady tubes. Every month, you lay an egg, like a chicken.
My dad always did his best.
Understand?
Do you understand? As a grown man in his 40s, you should probably know that it's nothing like a chicken. You were married to a woman and had a child with her. How many times did you see her squat over a hot frying pan and plop out an omelet for your breakfast, sir? And I'm sorry if that was a disturbing visual, but this man thinks that people who ovulate are straight up Mother Goosing their way through that time of the month. What? What? But it's finally time to go to college. It's finally time for Missy to go to college, Prissy. And of course, like out of nowhere, we get this sort of motivation about why she chose that college to go to. This all felt very rushed to me.
I'm so sorry I'm not there to see you off to college.
Wait, did your mom write this letter to you from beyond the grave? Or was she hooked up to her life support machine with a pen like, I must tell Sydney about the shooters and sluts parties we had on Thirsty Thursdays. And then it was like, beep. And they were like, all right, let's put that in a little treasure box for her to read on the bus to school. Here's more about the mom's magical experience.
I've put some of my favorite memories in this box. The friends you meet in college will be your friends for life.
Sydney's like, it's interesting you think that, since me and Dad were the only people who showed up to your funeral. But I guess this letter from a woman whose mind was fading fast is enough to completely define the career trajectory for all of Sydney's aspirations, which up until this point in the movie, we only know to be about hammers and nothing else. Like, she worked in construction because her dad was a plumber, and then the mom is like, but we love the sorority, and Sydney's like, well then I love the sorority too. Like, the character feels weak to me already. With the original Snow White, at least you knew like she was the fairest maiden in the whole goddamn place. Everyone loved her because she was beautiful and this and that. Like, it wasn't all of this extra noise. Anyway, let's see what else. We head over to the house of Kappa Phi Nu, where we meet our antagonist for the movie. Remember, this is Snow White, so see if you can guess based off the name who Rachel is supposed to be.
Gonna get you high, boy. Yeah, baby, I should come with a warning.
Still the fairest of them all.
The movie clearly thinks it's very clever for how it adapted the characters of Snow White, but they all either swing from incredibly on the nose to completely inscrutable. The evil witch is Rachel Witchburn. Got it. The royal prince is Tyler Prince. Great. Okay, then Lenny is Sneezy, Terrence is Doc, George is Dopey, and they all look really similar, so good luck with that.
Oh, Dinky? That's your real name?
Of course not. My real name's Demetria Rosemead.
Dinky it is.
Actually, if your full name is Demetria, I think you meant for your nickname to be Dimky. Now when we go to class in the morning, I'll say, "Dello Dimky, time to go to school." Because that's how foolish saying your name makes me sound, Dinky. Her name is Dinky because her name is Demetria Rosemead. And just in case you didn't read the Snow White Grimm's Brother original tale in like untranslated German before you watch this movie, Demetri Rosemead is based off of Snow White's sister in the book, Rose. When did Snow White have a sister? They did not put that in a Disney movie. I did love as a kid reading the Grimm's Brothers fairy tales though, like in Cinderella when she like cuts off pieces of her foot. I was like, yeah, chop it up, bloody that toe, hobble that princess. You know, she's her sorority sister, Rose here, instead of being her real sister. And they're both actually legacy Kappas. This comes out through this expositional scene here. She's like, oh, my mom was a Kappa too, and so was yours, so that's why we're roomed together. That means they're both guaranteed a pledge, a chance to like basically rush for this sorority. I just said like 18 words I'm not familiar with. Rushing? You gotta rush somewhere? I'm not rushing, I take it slow, mama. So, the Southern Atlantic University Greek system, they're having this meeting, and clearly Rachel Witchburn and this new guy we're meeting, Tyler Prince, have all the power because of their rich dads.
We have a golden opportunity right on Greek Row.
The vortex, where all those freaks live.
The Witchburn Prince Greek Life Center will soon break ground.
I'm not saying I'm smarter than whatever architect thought it was necessary to build a miniature of the building that's already there, but I think there might be some confusion about the scale of your Greek Life Center. If those are the same plots of land, this 5-story building is gonna be the size of Barbie's dream house. But sure, that's the conflict that we get introduced to before we even have a chance to care about it. Meanwhile, the movie tries even harder to establish that Sydney is not like other girls. She does not care about fashion. She wears Converse shoes. She had to borrow a dress. And then she catches a football when one of the jocks is gonna throw it at one of the nerds who we'll meet later. It's also like, okay, we have the 7 dorks who are like the socially challenged 7 dwarves, which I know is not a PC term, but that's what they called it in the Disney movie. We don't use that term anymore, just so everybody knows. We meet all of these 7 dorks way early, like into a scattered shot way, so I'm never really confident with who they are throughout multiple viewings of the movie. Anyway, Tyler sees her catch this football and he's like, whoa, you gotta be the coolest girl in the world. You eat chicken wings too?
You do realize you just showed up at school as a tight end.
Hope he's second string.
Tyler Prince, beta president.
Well, you look old enough to be US president, so I'm worried about your thyroid, I guess. He's like, yes, just a young college sophomore here. Please ignore that I look and sound like a fully grown Michael Bublé. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, when did Pete Buttigieg have an acting career in the thousands? Tyler's sniffing around Sydney from the minute she gets onto campus. He's like, you got a good look to you, girl. And that obviously makes Rachel jealous. He's like watching from the rafters at all the time. Like, girl, get a life.
Sorry, I kinda tend to overtalk when I'm nervous. It's a disease, one without a cure, so stop me anytime.
Do I have the same permission to stop you when you're over-applying frosted eyeshadow? You can tell they tried to give her these wide, big-looking doe eyes like the Snow White cartoon, but I'm getting more of those ladies who would steal makeup testers from Macy's by shoving them down their sweatpants. So Rachel takes notice of this girl that's been moving in on her man, even though her and Tyler are not really officially together anymore. A common trope in these movies, like the previous girlfriend is like, Tyler and I had a thing together once, and it's like, why can't the guy ever be like, we're not still together? Clearly these guys do not break up with girls the right way. But then we go right over to the rush scene, or like the meeting of all the pledges, the hopefuls. I don't know what their fucking names are for the Kappas. I don't know what their names are, I'm sorry. It gets frustrating that I'm like, auditions for the rushes, for the pledges, for the pools, for the parties, for the sponsors, for the goddamn. Let's go to the clip. Oof, a room full of blondes, and they chose to open the scene on the wiggiest looking wig of all of them. Even though all of these girls are new to the pledging system, they all somehow know everything, like they know the songs. I hate movies that are like, oh, we're all at our first day of school, but the people who aren't the fish out of water somehow know everything that the other new kid doesn't. I'm on to you movies, you suck.
Here comes a Kappa, queen of the row. She's hot, she's cool, she ain't no hoe.
Wait. If I join this sorority, I can't also be a hoe, because that's a legit deal breaker for me. Like in that case, I don't care about your little games or being queen of the row or whatever. I'm just gonna let the frat boys fuck me unaffiliated, okay? I don't feel like I need a special club for that. Besides, if I wanted to be queen of the row, I would just go back to my job squeezing the eggs out of pregnant fish at the salmon farm. They consider me their queen because I have the fishiest smelling discharge. I'm just kidding, I'm so sorry. I said it though, I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna leave it in. Also, when it comes to synchronized sorority chants, these girls could not even touch the iconic girls of Alpha Delta Phi.
We've been waiting for you all summer, and we're so glad you're finally here. Boom, boom, I wanna go 85. Boom, boom, and baby, that ain't no lie. Boom, boom, I wanna go 85, don't you?
Sure, but can you just put me in the back row with the losers who are just a pair of clapping hands? That way I can still access the breakfast buffet while we record this video, because I don't see the behind the scenes process being either quick or painless. Like I said, Rachel is disappointed that they have to give Sydney a chance at rushing the sorority, but they don't want her in.
That girl wouldn't know her Gucci from her Poochie.
Or Stanley Tucci from her Coochie. Franz Ferdinand from Amerigo Vespucci.
But we have to give her a bid. She's a legacy. Her mom gets her the bid, but she has to survive pledging all on her own.
Well then hopefully she's more of a survivor than that mother of hers, because I was there the day she died and it was like her body didn't even try not to get crushed by that city bus. Reminder, they didn't tell us how Sydney's mom died, so I'm left to just keep guessing wildly into the movie, and we're only 18 minutes in. There's more weirdness, more sorority weirdness.
How does your dad? He works mostly on construction sites. Your dad's a developer too? Yeah. Something like that.
She said, yes, he's a developer of the tubes that suck shit out of your house. Also, is it even a kid's movie if the main character doesn't have to lie about their parents' job to gain social status? How did this trope become so overused? I grew up not in the 1800s oil baron days, so this has never happened to me. I'm an adult and I still don't fully understand what my dad does for a job. Anyway, I would be out of there the second this lullaby lollapalooza happened.
May you have lovely dreams, just as lovely as you are.
No, you shh. In my life, I refuse to be told when to go to sleep. I need to be allowed to read quietly or something before bed, and that's my right. Also, are we gonna be doing this little sing-song part every night? I mean, it was great. The cast of Pitch Perfect is quaking. Anna Kendrick just ran screaming into the rye fields. That little ritual was apparently just some sort of ruse to get the girls off guard for this raid.
You have until 12:15 to find a date and meet me at the State Street Diner. No makeup, no brushing your hair or teeth. You got 15 minutes, let's go!
Wow, a bunch of hot girls on a college campus have to find a date without wearing a bra or panties. That's gonna be so hard. Then again, 15 minutes is not a lot of time, and I'm not good under pressure. I would be wandering around in my robe and hair curlers like, I've got a coupon for a free small Frosty from Wendy's. Who wants a piece? But Sydney's like running out of time and hasn't found anyone yet. Until...
What are you doing right now?
I'm waiting for an antihistamine to take effect.
I need you to be my date.
Your date?
Your date? The congested, stereotypically nerdy way that Lenny talks throughout the movie is never not tiresome. You will hate every word that comes out of his mouth, and every word that comes out of my mouth when I imitate him. He's like, oh, you got a date? The prom? We're the nerdiest ones in the school. Like, mama, blow your nose, get some Claritin, lock yourself in a closet, throw yourself over a cliff. Do whatever you gotta do. I don't like this characterization. But he's the first of our 7 dorks that we get a proper introduction to. His name is Lenny. He plays Sneezy. Very easy to remember that one, so we start off slow. So in the nick of time, Sydney brings her date to the all-night diner where all the other Kappas are and they're eating dinner.
Look at her with that pie. It's a sorority, not a ho-rority.
Girlfriend, you're obsessed with her. Now she's a hoe for how she eats dessert? In that case, sit back and watch all you want while I suck this pie's dick. Someone remind me to delete this video if I ever want to re-enter the corporate world. But this is the second time they call each other hoes. Like in the thing, she's like, the Kappas ain't no hoe. And now she's a ho-rority for eating her pie a little indulgently, I'll admit, but I mean, it looks like she's just really into whipped cream. And I've done that too. If you give me a tub of Cool Whip, baby, I think that I am Marilyn Monroe. I'm like, oh, It's just a sensual food. It feels so fluffy that you can't help but rub it on your nipples a little. I'm just kidding, I don't do that. But you feel yourself when you're eating whipped cream sometimes, you know? If you don't know what I mean, you're just making shit up. You're pretending. It's one of the sexiest foods you can eat. Put it between my boobs. So Sydney gets a little bit of info from Lenny about what it's like to live at the Vortex, their little weird house.
Tell me about the Vortex.
I guess you call it a haven. Some of us didn't get along with our roommate. Some of us wet the bed. Some of us wet the hallway.
What does that mean? Did you experience sudden incontinence in the hallway? Or did you wet the bed so much that it flooded out into the hallway? Are you telling us you flooded the dorm with your steaming boy piss? That's nasty. We're really going in today with the steaming boy piss. That really wasn't in the original Snow White. I know that for sure. All of a sudden, Rachel is like, Sydney, it's been determined that you have the most unsuitable date, so we have to ditch him now. And I'm like, okay, now you're just making stuff up. I know it, Rachel. I know it. I know girls like you, Rachel. Lenny gets back and he realizes, oh, I've been ditched.
Looks like you get stuck with the check.
Well, it looks like you can go f yourself. If you let 20 people walk out of this restaurant without paying, then you don't deserve a tip. I would have been waiting at the hostess stand, stun gunning those sorority sisters as they tried to file out, grabbing all their coach wristlets like, oh, thanks, baby. Glad you enjoyed the service on your stupid salads. Oh yeah, that's another thing we're gonna get into, is the whole time it's like the sorority girls are all like, I can eat one snow pea. And then Sydney's like, oh, I like to eat real foods. Like, we get it. You're just not like other girls, not like other girls. Ooh, my hands look like butterflies. butterflies sometimes. Butterflies! So we go back to school the next day. Yes, we're still at college. And we meet some more of these 7 dorks, but again, not in any way where we know like anything about them. It's very scattered.
The founding fathers were afraid that direct democracy would do to America what it did to Rome. Alexander Hamilton even advocated a monarchy.
Exactly.
This character, Mbele, is supposed to be Sleepy from the 7 Dwarfs. Classroom debate that's pertinent to the plot of the movie.
There are some valid arguments for keeping things a little bit more elite.
Uh-oh, I feel like we're about to find out how much World War II memorabilia Rachel's grandfather has in his trophy case. Also, what constitutes a little more elite? What, they have like an ad-free Hulu subscription? We do get maybe 72 or 75 different montages in this movie about how Sydney is changing the world for the better. I guess this is like Snow White. She was like always making people happy. I don't know what that deal was. Just kidding.
Want some breakfast? Breakfast is good.
Hey Amanda, for this scene, we're gonna have you ad-lib a little bit of dialogue with the other girls. Got it? Okay, perfect. Breakfast is good. Sydney White is not like other girls. She nourishes her body with the appropriate amount of food. Oh, Sydney. Movies back in the 2000s loved to normalize eating disorders amongst teenagers. But don't worry, things change. Even within the same stupid montage, things changed. Because breakfast is what? Contagious. In this version, instead of Snow White making friends with a forest full of animals, Sydney White uses peer pressure to cure people's mental illnesses. The movie really wants us to adore Sydney because she's not afraid to eat a burger. She doesn't care about her weight. And it's like, well, why should she? She's already magically Hollywood thin. It goes back to this thing where it's always brave for an average-sized person to be seen like eating a normal amount of food. But then larger people are subjected to fat phobia or unsolicited comments about what they're eating just when they're trying to live their life. Anyway, throughout this whole montage, the girls have to do other awful things like trying to clean the boys' bathroom of the fraternity. Ugh, I hate this. I hate this movie. Did the original Grimm Brothers fairy tale include the part about Snow White being a piss queen? No? Sydney said, I don't mind being in the splash zone, baby. I got all morning. Let it rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Blah, blah, blah. The whole school loves Sydney. Tyler Prince loves Sydney. Blah, blah, blah. She also is so smart.
Hi, I need to return these and I have a couple poli-sci books on reserve.
I'm impressed. I don't get a lot of pledges in here studying.
Well, maybe they just prefer to come in when the less judgmental librarian is working. Like, I'm pretty sure they still need books. Also, if Sydney White is so much smarter than every other girl, then why does she still think that the only cosmetics available on Earth are the same metallic lip gloss and eyeshadow that her mother was buried in? And no, I won't let it go. I won't let it go. I won't grow up. I won't grow up. I don't want to be adults. That's from Peter Pan, I think. I won't grow up. I won't grow up. While in the library, Sydney runs into Lenny, who she ditched at the diner, and he's obviously like, I don't want to talk to you, girl. Which, like, work, Lenny. You shouldn't want to talk to her. She sucks.
If it makes you feel any better, they threw baloney at us while we sang Celine Dion songs.
Why are you laughing? Free charcuterie while singing karaoke to Celine Dion? That's like a $300 night out in K-Town. What are these shitty Floridian extras know about it? I'm just kidding. They shot this, among other places, at Winter Park, Florida, at Rollins College. A lot of the extras on set are just real students who stayed on campus for winter break. They shot this movie for like 35 days at different campuses, from what I can tell. So all of the current Kappas have to choose a dress for the new pledges when they go do their like big party where they all get allowed into the club or whatever. So Rachel, in her deviousness, is like, I'll pick out your dress, Sydney. And then while they're upstairs, we get to figure out what the parallel is with this magic mirror hot or not list.
What's that? Just the school's hot or not ranking on MySpace.
I bet lame people just log on all day and vote for themselves.
No, we don't. We're only allowed to vote once a day. Right, Rachel?
What do you think, Rachel's the web programmer for MySpace? What are you asking her for? Also, Rachel asks so suspicious when this question is asked that I assumed it would later be revealed that she was cheating in some way, especially since she knows a hacker, as we find out, but nope, nothing comes of it. Maybe that's a deleted scene? Couldn't say. Maybe that's giving them too much credit. Would have been smart to include though. Universal, just so you know, Universal Pictures probably gonna copyright claim this. If they don't copyright claim this, then I take it back. You guys are great. But these Amanda Bynes movies, I've been getting copyright claims 1, 2, 3 after another, but I always win because what? Fair use. Anyway, let me not prod the bear and just keep watching the movie. Thank you so much. So, to everyone's surprise, Sydney's already on the Hot or Not list under Hot as number 213. Do you guys remember Hot or Not, powered by MySpace? I used to love that. I was like, I'm gonna find me a boyfriend on here. Hot, 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 hot. They are on the other end like, not. I should have been on like Desperate or MoreDesperate.com. All right, so we're at the coronation event and Tyler is dancing with Sydney and he cannot get enough of this girl. That's all I know.
Who are you, Sydney White? Throw football like Matt Leinart. Fearlessly conquer fraternity bathrooms. Clean up nice to boot.
Clean up nice. Every time you've seen her so far, she had gone through the effort of full hair and makeup. But TV makes guys like Tyler think that full drag is a natural look just if the girl is wearing a fitted tee and jeans. Like, no mama, she has false lashes on. She's got cream contour. Rachel is the worst. She's just about to give the pin that says like, you're in the Kappas to this poor girl who just wants to be like her dead mom, and this is where she pulls out all of this.
Sydney White has exhibited inappropriate Kappa behavior. You brought an unsuitable date to the date dash. Cheated during a pledge quiz. Revealed a secret pledge ritual to the entire library. And finally, we all know your dad is actually a plumber.
Says the girl whose dad is actually a Nazi. Little Miss Ubermensch with your Aryan-ass eternity. How did you even keep track of all of these minor infractions? You're flying monkeys? I know for a fact that she wasn't in the library when she said the Celine Dion thing. I wish that this had felt more intentional or had been built up with more suspicion throughout the first 30 minutes of the movie. Like if Rachel had been like peering behind the corner when she yelled out, "They threw meat at us at Celine Dion." The bringing an unsuitable date thing felt totally artificial because they all just brought whoever. What makes Lenny particularly unsuitable? He wore glasses. The cheating on the quiz thing, it also was just like such a throwaway scene when they were doing jumping jacks that it just all feels really sudden. And at the same time, this is just the end of the first act and I'm like, this feels like the movie should be ending by now. This feels like a middle of the movie conflict, but whatever. I don't like this movie. I've made that clear, so we won't harp on this particular part anymore. It's garbage. You garbage. You garbage, Sydney.
I want that dress back. Take it!
Rachel is like, damn it, why did I let her borrow one of my quick change outfits? That dress tore away like Sydney was about to descend the staircase and be like, isn't it good? Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? This is where the movie, I guess, kind of picks up, even though it took 7 minutes to get to this point. She's out in the rain because she's been kicked out of the Kappa house, even though, you know, she did have a dorm at the beginning of this that was assigned to her. She's out on the rain now, and the guys from the Vortex take her in. And that's when we finally meet all of the 7 dorks, which you're never gonna remember them anyway, but let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Hey, Sydney, these are the guys. Gherkin, Terrence, George, Jeremy.
Don't forget me.
Of course, Scoozer.
Awesome, and do you have any other distant cousins who are visiting from out of town? Because I don't think there have been enough character introductions yet. As if any viewer could ever remember these dorks' names while also trying to simultaneously figure out which one of the stupid dwarves they represent. Sneezy, Jumpy, Snippy, Doopy, Dopey. I don't even remember those stupid people. So what am I gonna do? Remember the, like, what? And Bele, who we met, the sleepy guy from the class, he's like an exchange student from Africa, so his times are reversed. So that's why he appears to be a lazy African stereotype. They're like, how long has he been jet lagged for? 2 years. Like, okay. And then all the other guys are just like so unrealistically unaware of what women are.
Dudes, that thing has touched boobs.
Of course. The sturdy, breathable fabric is designed to maintain memory elasticity.
I don't know what sort of excuse these grown men would have for not knowing that bras exist. If they're anything like me, as a kid, they would have at least walked by the ladies' underwear models at the store and thought, not for me. The Vortex house is like, it has bad wiring, things are catching on fire, it's clearly a dump, and they don't get any funding because over the last few years, the Greek system has been siphoning over 80% of the budget towards them. This brings up more questions for me, like, so is this a campus house that somehow is this dilapidated? Because that should be an easy fix. What are you paying tuition for? Also, if it's an off-campus house, then why would the school even have to pay for it, right? Right, but whatever. Let's just keep moving on. Get some more details on how Rachel is rude to people, but even that simple visual gag has to be like the most confusing thing ever.
Pick it up. The die's working. I lost 5 pounds. I think your ass found it.
Okay, I want to get to the body shaming, but I'm too distracted by the middle of the cracked zipper placement on these sweatpants. Why would they have her wear that if they're going in for a close-up on the butt? Because like, I thought that's what we were supposed to be looking at. I was like, so they stuck a zipper to her ass? But no, they were just trying to show that she had a fat ass. What? This girl in the blonde wig got the worst deal out of the whole movie. This featured extra. Meanwhile, Sydney is climbing that hot or not list, and that's big trubs for Rach. They're like, we gotta do something about this. Oh, and then Sydney has this idea. She's like, you guys are all gonna run for student council. That way we can redirect money and redistribute the wealth of this school. And they're all like, okay, we can do it. Lenny, you're gonna run for the class president. And I'm like, does anyone else feel like we're like moving so quick here? Because it took 30 minutes to get to this point, and now it's taking 5 minutes for her to be like, I'm your campaign manager. We're running for president. Like, what? This is like the part of Snow White where she's having the dwarves like fix up the house, I guess. They're gonna fix up the school by running for president. Like, they all have their little skills that help them do things. I don't know. It just feels really cheap, this whole adaptation. Another montage, but this time they're doing campaign things. It's weirdly timed, badly paced. Okay, that's enough of his facial expressions for one movie. Why did the editor make it so this character had an entire hero's journey within the span of one reaction shot? The character's name is Gherkin, and I'm just like, ugh, why is your nickname the sound of a dildo being removed? Also a pickle. I know that it's a pickle, but it's also like, Gherkin? Anyway, Rachel is legit flipping her top because Sydney is climbing in popularity as she campaigns. Her whole thing is like, we're gonna appeal to people who aren't into the Greek system. So they go to the gym and they start talking to people, and she's introducing everyone, making connections. Oi, oi, oi.
Are you allergic to gluten too?
All my life. Lenny, this is my friend Dinky. Oh, so nice to meet you.
Dinky, right? Nice to meet you, Dinky.
Dinky?
Yeah, I don't think using her name more often is gonna sell me on it. You all sound like a bunch of Teletubbies working out a domestic dispute. Rachel is just here to make threats.
Let me give you one tip, Sydney. I'm the last person you want to mess with.
No, you're the first.
And I'm still waiting for my hot dog. The line hasn't really moved much in 10 minutes, has it? Who does Rachel think she is anyway? A trained assassin? The only thing giving you social superiority is your place in a club that basically dies after you graduate and a bottle of purple conditioner. Conveniently, 2 guys walk by after Lenny, who is like the guy who's running for president, does something. They're like, oh, I think I graduated with that guy. And Rachel hears it. She's like, And I'm just like, well, that's gonna come back later, and thank God, you know, for her that it happened. Very convenient. It definitely says something about Hollywood's attitude towards women that even a teen comedy has to try to find humor in young girls getting smashed in the head every once in a while. We get it, straight men, you want to murder your wives and daughters, but can you at least try to cloak those urges when you're making content designed to sell MacBooks to my young niece? I'm just kidding, I don't have a niece, because she was murdered. I'm just kidding again. Violence against women is so insidiously laced into so many aspects of our whole stupid culture, isn't it? But let's just move on from that. Who cares? Life's good. Sydney is in the library studying, and she sees a little sign reminding her and us, the audience, that her mom used to go to this school, because they don't really talk about it very much. Obviously, she was sad that she didn't get into the sorority that her mom was in, but then she kind of moved on and realized, like, it doesn't actually matter. Now next time you open that little memory box with your mother's picture, you can tell her I said, F you for vandalizing this desk. Also, I guess even with 30 grand a semester tuition, ASU can't afford to replace this busted ass furniture. Okay, real nice educational system. But right as she's enjoying this piece of vandalism that I hate so much, what kind of college student is like, my name's Gabby? Like, okay. Then we get a little bit of flirtatious, romantic, promposal type of thing.
Boom.
When I see you smile, I can face the world. When I see you smile.
smile, I see a ray of light.
When I first saw this, my body spontaneously generated ovaries like a starfish and I got pregnant. I don't actually know if starfish can generate ovaries like that, but I think I read somewhere that they get horny for a cappella. He's singing the song that they were dancing to in that coronation moment, in case you missed it. It's basically like unshakable, his love for this girl. So even though she got rejected from the sorority, he's like, who cares? We're gonna help you win this stupid thing. Oh, and then he takes her on a not date.
I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold.
So your idea of a date is to...
Sydney, please shut up. Jesse McCartney left those breaks in his vocals so that I could duet with him. I don't want my love to go to waste. I just want you and your beautiful soul. You thought I would scream that note, and I still might when you least expect it. So, your beautiful soul. Good song. I don't want my love to go to waste. Oh, okay. Anyway, here's what we're doing on Tyler Prince's date.
You serve meals to the homeless?
He had no choice. Not unless he had some other plan to get that infraction off of his permanent record.
Hey, Ed Bagels Jr., what the f is a permanent record? Because in between my walks from the gay bar to the free clinic, I did attend 4 years of college. The only permanent record that ever really mattered was my transcripts. The dorm building I was in did send me to an alcohol responsibility course once, and believe me, arranging those flashcards about the negative effects of drinking completely cured my addiction. The same way pretending I wanted to play football cured my gayness. Not that gay people can't play football. If you love football and you're gay, I celebrate that. Let me know what color flags you play. I don't know. Anyway, so good guy Tyler is a good guy.
Do my hours tonight count towards working off Tyler's dirty deeds?
Actually, he fulfilled this requirement last year. Just can't seem to get rid of him.
Boo! Too obvious. This overly good guy trope has caused my magical starfish ovaries to shrivel away. Although I do still have the rough, scaly back of something you'd find in a tide pool. The dialogue in this like kitchen scene makes me crazy. He's like, he had to if he wanted to get that infraction off of his permanent record. Like, ew. And then she's like, does me being here help Tyler work against his dirty deeds? Like, I'm gonna smack you all. I'm gonna take all of you by the face and smack you. Like, the words you're saying are stupid. Anyway, Tyler brings Sydney up to the rooftop and it's like supposed to look so fairy tale magical, but to me I'm just like, who brought out the Tang powder and blew it in my face?
Is this where you bring all your first non-dates?
Sorority girls can't get enough of it. Tyler, this place doesn't even have a maitre d'.
Tyler, these plates are plastic. Touching them hurts my hands.
I bet you some of the girls in that sorority are like majoring in urban planning with a focus in equal housing, but sure. You two must be the only smart, nice people on the planet because you served some chili and used disposable plates. Also, I'm just gonna say it, I think the lighting in this scene has surpassed Golden Romantic Sunset and has entered Mad Max nuclear blast territory. You're both sitting on this church steeple looking like Chester Cheetah and Princess Peach. When Sydney comes home, all of the nerds are really protective of her, wanting to know how the date went.
You guys were spying on me, and just for that, I'm not gonna tell you about my date. Night, boys.
Yikes, that one is really aggressive. Was he not neutered early enough as a puppy? Rachel is not taking this overthrowing of her popularity lying down. She's all up in it, messing around.
Hey, sexy.
Me greeting my Postmates delivery driver. Although technically I'm talking to the nachos that he's carrying. And then I say, watch me eat this jalapeno.
Spicy.
We don't know what Rachel's up to, but it's something bad.
And that dump is obviously really important to them. I don't know why anyone would want to live there. That fire trap should be condemned.
Sir, stop giving the mean girl ideas. You're old enough to be my chiropractor. Saying that fire trap should be condemned is literally something only the father of two would think to say. The next morning, to Rachel's terror, Sydney has moved to the top of the list. She is now the fairest of them all. So Rachel is like, Sydney White must die a social death. And that's where I'm like, okay, so we're not even trying to adapt this anymore. They're like, so instead of the queen wanting to kill Snow White, it's like the socially popular girl wanting to socially kill her. It's like, okay, big stretch. Love it. Meanwhile, Tyler comes over to the vortex and meets the rest of the 7 dorks, and they all love him too.
Eat lead, sucker!
Not haha, eat lead, sucker. Like, okay, Dad, my friends think you're cool. Can you please leave now? Haha, eat lead, sucker! No, I won't. I won't eat lead. You eat lead and then lay down for a long nap. Now we go to a sorority party or something at a club. I don't know. I don't know where we are anymore. It's all over this college-ass campus. Raise your hand in the comments if this is an underappreciated Rihanna gem. Also, there are 2 extras in this party scene who are the only black characters in the movie who aren't African exchange students. That's good. The whole crowd is loving these people. Like Lenny, who's running for the president, he's supposed to be Doc. He is like doing keg stands, everyone's impressed by him. The little one, whatever. Oh, and then these girls come up and they're like, you guys come out here naked and meet us. And then the boys go out naked and then they turn on the lights and then everyone at the party sees them naked to give them a social death. It's a, you know, they're supposed to be super embarrassing. To me, it's all, again, very rushed because everybody just started to like these guys. So it's like, feels a little short-lived. But then Rachel lets divulge this other news that she found. So it's just like a lot of messy plot points here. Like, what was the plan to embarrass them? And then this news was also important. Like, okay, messy.
Terrence Lubinecki is not a student at Southern Atlantic. He graduated 6 years ago.
I had to stay. There was just so much more learning to do.
So this guy is such a genius that he's never heard of getting his master's degree. You can tell that this is a movie about college, but it's written for an age group who only really have experience with high school. Just like when Rachel was gathering infractions about Sydney when she was trying to rush for the pledge, and I wanted her to be more intentional, like maybe sabotaging her, they definitely could have been doing the same thing with the 7 dorks. Like if Rachel had the handbook of things that people needed to do to run for each of these positions, and then she went and like set traps for each of the 7 dorks that kind of like played into whatever their weakness was. So like Happy is too trusting, Sneezy didn't pay attention because he's too busy sneezing, like Angry just went off the handle so he didn't notice that he was being taken advantage of. Like if their little personality traits could have played into the plot here, it would have been a lot more satisfying because we haven't seen that matter at all. Anyway, Rachel continues to mess with their lives in these ways.
Witchburn Prince Greek Life Center is now a reality.
Witchburn Prince, wait,
Oh, you didn't tell her? It's a little joint project of ours, and the only thing standing in our way was the vortex. So like you suggested, Tyler, I went ahead and had it condemned.
Oh, I guess we forgot that Rachel is also a building inspector for the city. I love when the movie is so paint by numbers that even the screenwriter doesn't care how we're getting from beat to beat anymore.
Things are looking grim, brothers.
I get it, because of the Brothers Grimm, but why are you all standing around like Christmas carolers? How long were they silently looking at the front door like that before someone spoke? How is there still another 30 minutes left in this movie? Hi. At least we're at the 3rd act conflict here, but you know, it's just boring. Their house is being condemned, we don't know what's gonna happen, Rachel's winning. Oh, Sydney's mad at Tyler because Rachel made it sound like he's like part of the reason that they're gonna be condemned. I would have loved if they could have played that out more so she could have made it seem like, oh, his whole time getting closer to you, he's actually been using you to help me. Like that would have been nice if they could have built something like that in. Like we've seen that a million times. At least it would be a little easier to get invested in. So as everyone's getting moved out of the house, Sydney calls her dad and he comes and pays her a visit.
I was a little surprised to find you weren't at the Kappa house though.
I wanted to tell you so many times.
Oh, you did? They must have forgot to roll the cameras during that part because you lied about getting into the sorority once and then we haven't seen your dad since. Again, it feels like she was setting up too many lies. They couldn't even keep track of it. Like she lied about being a Kappa to the dad. Why not have him come during parent-teacher day and then she has to pretend to be in the sorority? Like all of those tropes they set up but never followed through on. Instead, we get stuff like this.
Hi, I'm Sydney White, and I'm running for student council president. Hi, Freedom. I'm Sydney White, and I'm running for student council president. I'm Freedom to the 7th power to student council president.
If you're wondering how such a generic movie can be 107 minutes long, it's because of this virtual tour of the computer lab and other such shots. Sometimes in the comments people ask if I hate movies because I'm always complaining when they're long. Not the case. I love movies, but when a movie is not using its runtime properly, like I cannot just sit there and passively watch a movie. So when I'm watching a 30-second shot of nothing and the movie has to be this long, then I'm not gonna just sit there and be like, this is entertaining. I'm gonna be like, why are they showing me this? This is not beautiful, this is not breathtaking, this is not moving the plot forward. Make it 2 seconds long. If it's gonna be not doing anything or not moving the plot forward, I'm gonna get bored because I have other things to do. But there are movies that are 2 hours long that I love. You know, a lot of movies that are long, they just have to be well written. We go to Sydney, like meeting with the ROTC students, so she's getting in on the non-Greek life people. She goes to the Jewish Student Union, and this is where we get even more like really rough ethnic stereotypes. Like the Jewish community just shows all of these Orthodox or Hasidic Jews and they're all saying, cheers, l'chaim. And then we see her go to the lesbian, gay, transgender, and searching alliance. And we know that's not gonna be great.
Naked Pain, an epic poem in 12 parts.
Come one, come all, come take a look at the freaky drag queen, hot on the heels of those jovial Jews. Whatever point this movie is trying to make about inclusion is easily eclipsed by the insidious stereotypes it includes that most people wouldn't even notice if they have like cis white privilege. That's what makes it even worse. Like people who are not LGBTQ will see this, especially in 2007, and be like, is that supposed to be a trans person or a drag queen? Either way, queer, funny, we're gonna laugh at it. It didn't work hard enough to make this seem like a genuine, like, oh, she suddenly cares about all of these people and she's making a difference.
Hi-ho. Hi-ho.
A cheesy Snow White reference combined with not one but two instances of a young woman being called hoe. That's a Sydney White combo move. This shot of the incel parade marching along and slut-shaming a young woman, it really aged well. Because they're becoming more social, because Sydney's helping them, all of the dorks are meeting lovers.
You read People's Punisher too?
I write it.
Oh my god. It's the most genius thing ever. I swore that if I ever met the People's Punisher guy, well, I'd hook up with him.
He's like, well, perfect, because I'm already holding this hammer. Isn't it cute how the one with uncontrollable rage got a girlfriend? It is cute. Say ah, ah, ah. Tyler comes up and easily apologizes to Sydney because he's like, you know how Rachel twists stuff around, and she's like, I do. Third act conflict over. Now on to the main conflict. Rachel's got one more trick up her sleeve.
She just opened it. Voila. One poisoned apple.
Yeah, great crossover wordplay as usual, but where have I seen these graphics before? Oh, yeah. I loved that commercial. What they don't get is that, yes, I would steal a car if I could get away with it as easy as I could steal a movie. That's the whole point. You're not gonna do it if you're gonna get caught. Anyway, Sydney's computer gets completely erased on the eve of her big debate and several other small work assignments that we never heard anything about. Would have loved for them to build in something like, you owe this paper tomorrow or you lose your scholarship. Like, put that scholarship at risk, because that's the life or death in this situation.
She's gone. Catatonic.
My paper. Due tomorrow. The debate tomorrow.
Just like a poison apple caused Snow White to fall into a deep sleep, the poison apple virus caused Sydney White to fall into a catatonic state. Because that makes sense and is totally believable. This is such a beautiful, seamless adaptation. This is the part where I suck up to Universal Pictures so that they don't try to copyright claim this video. Oh, I love you so much. Please don't trample on my rights. But it's okay because she snaps right out of it.
I can't let her win like this.
Debate starts in 12 hours.
I'm just gonna have to pull an all-nighter.
You can do it, Sydney, as long as you have fresh oxygen to suck out of that bone-dry, light-as-air, completely empty coffee cup. So it's the next morning, Sydney's been up all night studying for her debate, and it's the time for the big debate, but where is she? Where's Sid? Where's Sydney?
We need all candidates on stage now.
Sydney, I know you're tired, but you can't give up now.
Yeah, because it would literally make no sense for you to sleep through the event that you spent all night studying for. This is so stupid that I want to induce my own coma, but I don't know who will trim my nose hairs, or for how many days I can let it go before birds start nesting in there. She's laying through that window. It's supposed to look like the glass coffin of Snow White sleeping, but it's like she's just a little tired. Don't do this. Good God, our non-consensual kiss timer just broke 7.5 seconds. We don't usually see those kind of numbers outside of a Harvey Weinstein dinner party. So that forced kiss makes Sydney wake up and go, let's do this. So I'm like, I hate it. I hate it so much. But she goes out there and there's this moment of tension where she's like, will anyone even support me? And then boom, ba-da-doom. Wow, the whole school is uniting to vote for Sydney and show us that togetherness wins. We've got the goths, the gymnasts, the nerds. Then over here we have the Jews, the queers, the foreigners. God, we really cured prejudice. I don't remember what the hell Rachel says, but here's Sydney's speech.
My name is Sydney White. My dad's a plumber. I collect comic books. I'm a dork.
I'm the current high scorer and Gherkin of Honor. I'm a dork.
I've never had sex with a girl before.
I'm a dork.
And I kind of forgot you were in this movie, so it's really jarring for you to be talking about sex all of a sudden during this Spartacus scene. Also, I guess now the lesson of this movie is that everyone's a dork. Sure, let's just go with that. It doesn't need to be cohesive. When these movies end with the crowd cheering, kids seem to like it. Although I gotta say, it feels a little disingenuous that it's all about like everyone's cool, even if they're a dork, when like they've been making unironic jokes throughout the movie about people's weight or their interests, so whatever, it's fine. This material is so far below Amanda Bynes' comedic talent. It's like she never once got a good movie script that lived up to her ability to carry a movie. Like she had good supporting roles in Big Fat Liar and Easy A and Hairspray, but the ones where she was the star, I'm just like, no ma'am. All 7 dorks are elected, so everyone's happy. They redirected funds back to the vortex. The dad's construction company is fixing things up. Everyone's so happy, and then this happens.
I finally perfected my predictive analytic probability theory. I sold it to ibet.com for $10 million.
Wow, now we finally have the money to fix that problem that was never established. Why have this happen after the house is already getting fixed and there's no more obvious need for money? The story doesn't do things in the right order! I would have loved if they were like, all right, now we can keep the house. Still looks like it's a dump. And then he comes home and he's like, not anymore. But whatever. Whatever. Truly whatever. This is so mama Sita. It's been 2 hours recording this video. We're done.
My mom was right. I did make friends for life. And we all lived, do you even have to ask? Dorkily ever after.
Aw, she was finally able to dump her mom's ashes out of that box and make room for new stuff. This is a happy ending. Because it's over. I might even say that Sydney White was the least good out of all 3 of the movies with starring as Amanda Bynes that we've looked at. I thought She's the Man was the worst. I thought the first one that I saw, whatever it was called, was the worst, but no. They're all bad, but this was really bad. Bad, bad, bad. Anyway, what did you guys think? Did you love this movie as a kid? Let me know in the comments. Also, what other movies should I cover next? You know I always want to know. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the first to know when we've got a new storybook to unfold. Also, I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive episodes and virtual watch parties and other cool benefits. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for going to ASU with me today. I will see you next time.